And our first panelist is a tech consultant and software systems engineer at the ICT Authority under the Ministry of Information, Communication, and the Digital Economy. Now, he manages an agency which is called Wastua, which provides a wide range of software solutions, including mobile apps, websites, and comprehensive software systems to various sectors, including education and healthcare. Additionally, they offer motion graphics, large format printing, and branding. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the tech consultant and software systems engineer, Dwayne. Let's keep clapping for him until he comes up. You can come and have a seat here, Jay. All right, thank you so much. Jay, you know, in your area of expertise, there's so many things that arise in a world of tech that may actually sometimes be extremely worldly. And I personally can't imagine how you do it. People say that if we are in the media space, influencer space, it's difficult, but I think in the tech space, it might be more difficult because you have various clients that you work with, you're designing different things, and it sometimes can be extremely difficult. So some of the times that you've had experiences like those, how have you been able to stick to your godly principles to ensure that you are not being derailed? You know, because we all experience such things.
Yeah, everybody here uses tech, yeah? And so I'm gonna shock you for a second before I answer how...
Shock us, we are ready. We're ready, we have the Holy Spirit with us, shock us.
Yeah, so every developer in the house, every software developer or software engineer has this experience where someone comes to you and says, hey, I have an idea. Let's make an Uber app for Kenya. But it's already there, yeah? Now let me bring it home. 2 years back, things were booming and so many guys approached me, so many ideas. Some rich, let me call them tycoons in the region. They wanted me to create for them a mobile application and a system that is oriented towards, it's more like an Uber for pornography.
Whoa.
Yeah?
Whoa.
And there's a European gentleman that was last year who approached me with a really good deal, yeah? I'm very sure anyone here who's offered $1 million, you can take it on the spot. I was offered $1 million to create a betting website, yeah? And not that I don't need the money, but sometimes you need to have integrity towards yourself, yeah?
And values.
Yeah. So Titus chapter 2 and verse number 11 says that the grace of God has appeared to all men and teaches us to say no to ungodliness, yeah? Sometimes it takes a no. Yeah. It takes a no. Now, what has helped me to maintain, the
godly principles.
The godly principles, I can say to begin with, it's a lot of prayer. I am in a world of computer science. So many computer scientists are atheists. They are non-believers, and not just computer scientists. I think generally people in the science field are mostly atheists. Yeah. And for me, it takes a lot of prayer. 2, it takes a lot of community, yeah? Faith-filled community in the tech space, yeah? In as much as we have developers out there, even in church, we do have developers. Amen. And I do try to link up with a lot of people in the faith space doing the same thing that I do, or even better. And the power of community helps you to keep check on yourself, to always stay on guard, yeah?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. And that just, a round of applause for Jay. I think that also just tells us who we surround ourselves with matters, especially when we are trying to bring our faith into our businesses. And also just knowing that if there is a community that you can plug into, those who have not plugged into Cell Group, I'm just going to throw it out there, plug in to Cell Group. You'll meet people who will be able to walk with you, you can be accountable to, and even today as we network this afternoon, that's one of the things you'll do. If you're a techie, you now know Jay is in that space. Jay, you know, Chep has talked about those places where things go bad and then you don't know how to move from there. What are the most difficult instances that you have had or you experienced in your field that maybe made you feel pressured? You've talked about the temptation of being given offers with lots of money, but is there an instance where you ended up compromising yourself, and how did you overcome? How did you over that?
There's a disillusionment force in the market environment that stems from this idea of meology. It's only me who can do it. Yeah? And so many of us, we love to do things by ourselves.
Wait
yeah?
first. There are people at the back. Did you hear that? Meology. Me, I am the one. You have been called to attention. Go on, Jay.
And to be honest, you can't be a lone ranger in my line of work. You can't be. And so at times I've compromised. I've taken on projects that were quite weighty, and I realized somewhere in the middle that this project it's not a one-man thing. And definitely when a client or a manager is expecting results, and then you realize that this was not meant to be a one-man thing, definitely you're in trouble. And I've been there so many times, but it's all about just saying, it's too much for me. Yeah. I need help. Yeah. It's just saying, I can't by myself. As Chep says, to be vulnerable, definitely that's what I try to embrace nowadays.
I love it. A round of applause for Jay. I think we struggle a lot as, especially people who are either self-employed, entrepreneurs, you've started your own business, and you feel that you have to hold the business. And sometimes, I personally know, letting the business be the business and separating yourself can be very difficult. But if you want it to be a future that is going to be in your family, and you're growing this, for the future, and your kingdom business is going to expand for generations to come, then we need to remove meology from it and allow, first of all, God to assist us. Then we can now ask, God, who are the right people that I should ask to work with me? Because not everyone is going to be for you. We know that. But you need God's assistance. So what I've heard from this group is, put God first, be vulnerable with God, and I love what Chep said, that fear comes, but your decision should be that you face everything and rise, that you know that God has called you not to fear, and that is where you go. So a round of applause for our panel. Thank you so much, Dr. Ben, Chep, and Jay, for your valuable contribution to this.